I caught the train here this evening, no problems, everything was fine, which is unusual because when I get on the train, something always weird happens. The situation that stuck out in my mind was the time I was going to work. It was about 6:30 in the morning, and there was just one other man on the carriage. But he was having a wank. So he was. Bold as brass, he was just tugging away, right? And that wasn't even the worst. I thought I recognised you. You had a guilty look in your face there, mate. But that wasn't even the worst part about it, because when I went downstairs to report the incident, right, the man in the booth never said anything that you'd expect, like, oh, we at West Midlands Railway have a strict zero-tolerance policy on such behaviour. Or, rest assured, sir, we'll do everything in our power to catch these deviants. He never said any of that. He just looked at the clock at the wall and went, well, this time of day. Not what I wanted to hear, and did very strongly imply there's an acceptable time of day to masturbate on public transport. Let me know when it is, mate. I'll buy a ticket tomorrow. I'll buy the Wanker Super Saver return. I could come before I arrive. So, yeah, no, I got here. And it's a pleasure to be here. It really is. I genuinely mean that. Because I'm a father of a 4-year-old, and I also have a dog. So it's nice to be out of the house without having to take a small, irritating creature for a shit, to be honest with you. This is my life now, and it's not made any easy by the fact I've got one of these little fluffy yappy dogs. I've got a breed called a Lhasa Apso. Does anyone know what that is? Yeah, I'm not entirely convinced it is a dog, if I'm honest. It's more like a sort of high-functioning otter. And it's adorable, don't get me wrong, but it does tend to wind people up. I was walking it the once, and it was doing its dirty business, as dogs do. And this man drives past and shouts out his window, "Oi, mate! Your dog's fucking gay!" Bit aggressive, but I appreciated the mate. And I didn't know what to say at the time. I remember thinking, if that man could determine the sexuality of an animal based solely on how it defecates, then he's fucking wasted an ice cream, man. And then I got to take my daughter to the toilet when we're out and about, and I don't like that either, right? Because I just got to stand there and watch her little poo face. And the reason I don't like it, it's the only time she looks like me. And I'm worried my wife's going to work out that she's married a man who looks like a shitting toddler. That works both ways, by the way, because one of the very specific things I've learned being a married father of one is that the expression on my wife's face when she gives me a hand job is pretty much the same one she's got when she's foot pumping up the kids' paddling pool. It's that look of exhaustion and boredom, tinged with relief that she's not using her mouth. Now, to be fair to my wife, I love my wife to bits, and to be fair to her, I knew she was the one from our very first date, and not many people can say that, but I knew. I took her over this nice big slap-up dinner, right? I was about to pay up, and she insisted that we go Dutch, which I thought was very modern, very kind. Maybe she's the one. So we split the bill, and then we smoked some really strong weed and hired a prostitute. It's a cracking night, best first date ever, to be honest with you.